shows that John Brennan held a scheme, a financial scheme against the American people to allow terrorists into this country who committed crimes. We saw that come to fruition during the Boston Marathon bombing. We saw it way back when he was in Saudi Arabia. We saw those hijacker visas. And also, Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson just released his documentary, what is it, 5 or 6 part documentary on 9/11, where in the first 2 minutes of the first episode, he starts talking about John Brennan and Brennan's involvement with releasing or giving these hijackers visas. This is exactly what Roger Stone talks about in his foreword to this book, right? And what furthermore, Roger says in the foreword of his book is he said Brennan lied on a what do you call it? Those truth detector tests, right? Is another word for it. But he lied on a polygraph, he literally said on a polygraph that he supported during 4 presidential terms the Communist Party, the Communist America, whatever the technical term is for the Communist Pact in the United States. He's a self-proclaimed communist, John Brennan. Right? He's a self-proclaimed communist, and he's not only is he a self-proclaimed communist, but he's known to have converted to Islam, but the most radical form of Islam, which is Wahhabism. You know, you're talking about these are the people that kill in the name of their religion, right? So very, very important things. That's not why he should be indicted. The indictment comes from the contents of the book that was just released 2 months ago by Post Hill Press called High Stakes Treason. In that book, and as I mentioned, 430 pages, 100 pages of appendix, shows the research that he concocted a criminal financial scheme against the American people of withholding stock options, lying about it, committing therefore felonies, and the clincher is that he did. Not only did he didn't do it, he didn't do it at the expense of just $5 million, basically what we show he cashed out at over the end of his 6 years. But before, this is when he was the advisor. This is when he was Obama's advisor for Homeland Security. And then he was appointed director of the CIA. But during that time, as the advisor of the Homeland Security, this is when he's committed these crimes. This is when he's falsified his financial statements, and it's come at the price and the cost of American security, American lives. Right? So we know Americans lost their lives in the Boston Marathon bombing, and part of that is because John Brennan did nothing to stop it, allegedly, and this is what's shown in the book. He did nothing to stop it because he knew he had cashed in on the stock ownership of what's called the Analysis Corporation, a government contractor that received funding every time there was a terror attack. So the war on terror, I believe, is a hoax, right? But the war on terror, I'm not saying terrorists aren't real, but the war on terror, it gets funding from Congress, and John Brennan received financial profit through his ownership of the Analysis Corporation, later known as the Soterra Defense Solution. So this is a massive story. It's a huge story. And I published the book, and I've authored the book, but it's important for people to understand that it's my former FBI intel source. He's a former FBI analyst. He's the one that's researched and put together the majority of the compilation of the book. I'm just the one that's released it to the public because he was unable to do so via conflict of interest. But what I'm saying right now, Zach, is that Tulsi Gabbard, she needs this book. The DOJ needs this book to indict John Brennan.